Good day, everyone. This is Glarix Markyle Afagali, 20 years old from San Center, Quezon City. I am from BEd TG. My report is all about demonstration of design learning plan. Our objectives in this lesson is to discuss how we demonstrate design learning plan and to explain what learning plan is. Learning plan is a term to describe a document that is used for learning development over a period of time. Any entity have a learning plan. They are often used by individuals to plan and to manage their own learning, but they can also be used by terms, communities of practice, or organization. A successful lesson plan addresses and integrates three key components: learning objectives, learning activities, assessment to check for student understanding. A lesson plan provides you with a general outline of your teaching goals, learning objectives, and means to accomplish them, and it's by no means exhaustive. Productive lesson is not one in which everything goes exactly as planned, but one in which both students and instructor learn from each other. Before class, step for preparing a lesson plan. Listed below are 6 steps for preparing your lesson plan before your class. First, identity the learning objectives. Before you plan your lesson, you will first need to identify the learning objectives for the lesson. A learning objectives describe what the learners will know or be able to do after the learning experience, rather than what the learner will be exposed to during the instruction. Typically, it is written in a language that it is easily understood by students and clearly related to the program learning outcomes. The table below contains the characteristic of clear learning objectives. Second, the plan the specific learning activities. When planning learning activities, you should consider the types of activities students will need to engage in order to develop the skills and knowledge required to demonstrate effective learning in the course. Learning activities should be directly related to the learning objectives of the course and provide experience that will enable student and to engage in practice and gain feedback the specific progress toward those objectives. Third is plan to assess student understanding. Assessment provide opportunities for students to demonstrate the practice, the knowledge and skills articulated in the learning objectives, and for instructor to offer targeted feedback that can guide further learning. Planning for assessments allow you to find out whether your students are learning. It involves making decision about the number and types of assessment tasks that will be enable students to demonstrate learning objectives for the lesson. Example of different assessment, formative or summative. Fourth is plan to sequence the lesson in an engaging and meaningful manner. Robert Gain proposed the ninth process called the event of instruction, which is useful for planning the sequence of your lesson. Using Gates' 9 events in conjunction with Blossom revised taxonomy of educational objectives aids in designing engaging and meaningful instructions. The 9 events of instruction are: gain attention, inform learner of objectives, prior learning, present content, provide guidance, practice, provide feedback, access performance, enhance retention and transfer to the job. Fifth is create a realistic timeline. A list of 10 learning objectives is not realistic. So narrow down nor your list to the 2 or 3 key concepts, ideas, or skill you want the students to learn in the lesson. Your list of prioritized learning objectives will help you to make decision on the spot and adjust your lesson plan as needed. Here are some strategies for creating a realistic timeline. Estimate how much time each of the activities will take, then plan some extra time for each. And the last one is plan for a lesson closure. Lesson closure provides an opportunity to solidify a student's learning. Lesson closure is useful for both instruction and students. You can use closure to check for the student's understanding and inform subsequent instruction, emphasize key information, correct and students' misunderstandings, preview upcoming topics. During the class presentation, your lesson plan. Letting your students know what they will be learning and doing in class will help keep them more engaged on the track. Providing a meaningful organization of the class time can help students not only remember better but also follow your presentation and understand the rationale behind the planned learning activities. You can share your lesson plan by writing a brief agenda on the whiteboard or telling students explicitly what they will be learning and doing in the class. After the class, reflecting on your lesson plan. Let your students know what they will be learning and doing in class. And after that, you can do assessment. Therefore, you can able to assess your students if they learn something on what do you teach on them. You can also provide some activities that they can answer it, and while you have the result, you are unable to identify if your students can learn about the lesson that you teach. The term demonstration of learning refers to a wide variety of potential educational projects, presentation, or products through which students demonstrate what they have learned, usually as a way of demonstrating whether and to what degree they have achieved expected learning standards or learning objectives of a course or learning experience. It is important to note that demonstration of learning are typically purposeful teaching strategies designed to achieve specific educational outcomes. They are not a mere show and tell opportunities. For example, demonstration of learning can help teachers determine whether the students have acquired skills that cannot be easily evaluated by traditional tests or papers, including ability to amplify skills and knowledge learned in one students or such English language arts, math, or history to problems in other subjects areas or domains. So that is my report. That would be all. Thank you so much for listening.